everybody out there in Facebook land. This is Jane here, coming to you from a sunny afternoon in Pembrokeshire. I'm coming live now as I'm hoping that I will do this before, hi Raquel, nice to see you, as I'm hoping, hi Charlene, I'm hoping that I'll get this done before my guests for today arrive. We've got a few guests staying to celebrate Valentine's Day today, and Tyler has done some very nice Valentine's decorations out there to help celebrate. Afternoon Andrea, how are you? Karen, hello. So thank you very much for joining. Apologies if the guests come, I will have to go, but I don't think I've been trying my best to come up with a good time when I could say, right, this is definitely when I'm going to go live and on whatever days. But the life of a hotelier is not simple, and I haven't yet been able to come up with a time which works out brilliantly, unless it's something like 7 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll just be busy in the kitchen. So anyway, bear with me folks. So I'm going to talk to you today about porridge and porridge oats. Hi Jan, nice to see you. Excuse me. I have had a bowl or two of porridge lately, and people have been asking me how I make it and what I do with my porridge. So I thought it's an interesting subject, because if you don't know, there's, you know, a little bit more to it than meets the eye really. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jane Hancock and I am your bed and breakfast specialist, the proud owner of Fields Lodge, and bringing you the best of Pembrokeshire, always coming from a very sunny Pembrokeshire today, which is why I'm a little bit further along in the kitchen than I might normally be, because the sun is streaming through over there and you just can't see anything, so I'm a little bit further on today. So as I said, I'm going to talk to you about porridge today. So if you've got a like, an invite or share button on your screen, then by all means press that to invite your friends or share this live so that you can help spread the word about porridge. So porridge, yes, very popular in the B&B. Obviously we get a lot of walkers, a lot of people going to Skoma, so it's a good breakfast to sustain you. But here it's sort of like a starter then, so you have a bowl of porridge and that's your starter, and then you go on to have whatever you want. Some people just want the porridge, of course, but that's the way I plan to do it here. It's more of a starter. So is a porridge oat a porridge oat? Well, no, it isn't folks, actually, and I've got 3 bowls of porridge oats here to show you, which I'm hoping I'll be able to show you on the camera. So why is porridge, and for those people across the water, I think you call it oatmeal over there, or is it cream of wheat, I think is another term that you use over there, whereas we used to call it porridge here. So why is porridge good for you? Well, predominantly it's, although it's a carbohydrate, it's a slow release carbohydrate, and that means it doesn't necessarily spike your blood sugars. So that's good for your insulin levels, helps you balance those. It also keeps you full. When you're digesting it, it sort of creates a bit of a gluey gloop in your gut, and that helps you stay full for longer. The fibre in it then acts as a prebiotic for your gut bacteria, for your microbiome, so that feeds the friendly bacteria that we've got in our gut, so it's a really good one to have for your immune system as well. It's full of antioxidants. Hi Sean, nice to see you. It's full of antioxidants and lots of vitamins and minerals, so overall, you know, it's very nearly classed as a superfood, I believe. So I use, in the B&B, I use the jumbo whole rolled oats. Now, can you see them? Can you see them? Does that, the light's in the way, the light is shining on it now. There, can you see them? And why I use the jumbo whole rolled oats is because it is actually, the sun's shining on my hand now, it is actually a bigger oat, and that means it will take longer to break down in your system, which means then it has a slower release again, so it's a very low GI food index food. But what else is out there? Well, the other things that are out there are quick oats or ready oats, you'll see, and there's also those pop-de-ping quick, super quick oats. Then the microwave oats. Pop-de-ping is Welsh for microwave, by the way, and they're all a little bit different, really. Some of the microwave oats in particular, if you go, well, definitely if you go for like the flavoured variety, then they are going to have sugar and salt in them to create the flavours, and you know, they're quite processed. But I suppose bottom line, you're still having porridge, so you know, that's better than nothing. I suppose that's better than like a sweet cereal. But if we just compare plain oats, so the oats I've got here are just plain oats. So these ones here, it's not ideal, is it? There, look, there you go. Those ones there are the ready oats. So these are the oats that cook up quite quickly. These massive rolled oats do take a bit of cooking. So these ready oats do cook up quite quickly, and they cook up quickly because in some, well, in all instances, they're much smaller. So they've been processed to a much bigger degree. They're a lot smaller than the jumbo oats, and in some instances they have actually been slightly pre-cooked beforehand so that they cook up quickly on your stove. And so therefore they're not as a low GI food as your jumbo oats. So these have the potential, oh, hi Nick, nice to see you, hope you're well up there. These oats have the potential to, you know, spike your blood sugar slightly. Then we come on to the pop-de-ping oats, and I'm going to pass, can you see them? There. So these have got a lot of even dust in them. So look at my finger. Can you see? Oh, camera. There, look. See, that's dust. So these, oh, and it's very fine too. These have been quite heavily processed now because they've been broken down to a very fine powder. There are some bits of oats left, but I'll get the two types out now for you to see. So there are some slightly pieces of oats left, but in the main it's like a fine powder, obviously because this is going to get cooked in the microwave. So this is not really at all a low GI food, and some of these have got the potential to give your blood sugar a massive spike. So that's something to be mindful of going forward. So let me just see if I can, there, look, that's, oh, I can't stand forward, look, because the sun's going to come in my eyes. So that is a whole oat, and that is, oh, where's the camera? There. That is the biggest piece of the microwave oats that I can show you. So let me see. Can I do it this way? Can I show the camera my hand? Look at that, look. There. So that's the difference between a whole rolled oat, and that piece of oat is the biggest piece of oat I can find in this pop-de-ping, because most of it is dust, look, like that. So I suppose bottom line, any porridge is better than no porridge, better than a sugary cereal. Go for the plain. Oh, thank you for the hearts. Hi Kirsty. Go for the plain if you can, and put your own toppings on it. So, you know, if you want to go for, I don't know, blueberry one, then go for the plain and put your own blueberries in it, but put your own sweetener in it even, because then at least you know then what you're eating. But ideally, try and go for the, can't do them up here, try and go for the whole jumbo oats, because they are nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with them at all. They are the best things for you. And with regards to cooking, now I'm very lucky I've got the Arga, so the way I cook them, I cook them quite slowly. So I have 1 cup, whatever your measurement is, you know, one of your measurement, it's a cup in my case. And then I put 3 cups of water to it, and I bring it to the boil on the hob, and then I pop it in the bottom oven of the Arga. I'm moving again now because the sun's moving around. I put it in the bottom oven of the Arga, which is a bit like a slow cooker, and I just leave it in there to slow cook. And the benefit of doing that for me is the slower you cook these large oats, the more creamy they become, and that's why I'm using water, because by the time I finished you would have thought it's been made with milk. So it's a great way of saving calories, and if you're trying to stay away from milk, then it's, you know, it's great for that. But if you haven't got an Arga, then what I suggest is, again, bringing it up to boil and then turning it down onto the lowest simmer that you've got, and then cover it. But then you need to keep stirring it because sometimes it'll stick. But if you've got an ordinary oven, if you just put it on a low heat on an ordinary oven, because obviously that's a much bigger oat, and so we need to be able to break it down sufficiently so that it is pleasant to eat. So that's why they need a little bit more cooking. The other way you can do it is the night before. You can get your portion of oats, you can put your 3 portions of liquid of choice. Mine is water, but some of you may like to put milk, and cover it. So put it in quite a big bowl, because this will expand then. Cover it and pop it in the fridge overnight, and then what will happen overnight is the oats will soak up the water, and they'll be ready then to cook on a hob, and they will come out just as a lovely, soft and creamy. So that's the way to get your hot porridge. And another brilliant idea, oh excuse me, another brilliant idea is to do something called bircher muesli, which is basically soaked overnight oats in the fridge. It's a cold breakfast. So again, you get your oats and you put them with your choice of liquid. The recipe that I tend to use in the B&B is milk. You put them overnight, and then the following morning, then just before your breakfast, you grate and mix in all of your other ingredients. So the sort of ingredients that I'm talking about is a grated apple, sliced sliced banana, some berries, some chopped nuts. If you wanted a little bit of sweetener, my sweetener of preference is brown rice malt syrup, because that is a complex carbohydrate and doesn't really spike your blood sugar, so you can get away with a little bit of that. Or you could have xylitol, which doesn't spike your blood sugars, or stevia or stevia. I tend not to like that one too much, because I can always taste the aftertaste on that, but the previous 2 are fine. If you want to, maple syrup, although a sweetener, and that will create a blood sugar spike, because you're having it with the oats, which are slow release, you're reducing that blood sugar spike. And also maple syrup has got plenty of nutrients in it. So maple syrup or honey, at least then when you're having your sweetener, you are actually taking in some really good nutrients for your body. I'm off as much as I can be off the sugar spiking things, because I'm trying to get my sugar, manic sugar blood under control, really. But as long as you're having something that's good for you, then that suits me fine if it's good for you. So that's what I tend to do in the B&B as far as the porridge oats are concerned. I hope you found that interesting. A porridge oat is not a porridge oat. And if you'd like to read more or get to know a little bit more about the nutritional value, etc. of the porridge oats, then I've written a blog about it, and it's also got the recipe for the bircher muesli and also my method of how I cook the porridge here, and that's on my blog. I'll put the comments in the comments below. I'll put the link there. If you've watched this on replay, I'd be really grateful if you'd put replay in the comments, just so that I can come back and say thank you, because I very much appreciate anybody spending any time watching me and my musings via Facebook land. I'm very grateful for your time. Have a good afternoon, everybody. See you soon. Bye.